And now enjoy this free Jason Modcast show.
Welcome to My Public Life as an American Nerd. I am your host, David K. Montoya. Welcome back, kids. It has been a week, hasn't it? Goodness. I was going through the news today as far as entertainment-wise and trying to figure out what I want to talk about. And there was plenty of stuff to talk about. It was just trying to dig through everything and find the meat, on the bone, because there's just like, there's a lot of good stuff out there, but I really want to bring you what you guys want, what I think would entertain you the most, and sometimes it just, there's things out there that just makes you scratch your head and wonder why. And though it's not a beautiful, happy ending story, it needs to be addressed. And that's my opener for our first story of this week. Back in 2010, more specifically, it was Halloween night 2010, the very first episode of the very first season of The Walking Dead came out. And I was enamored. Oh my God, I was just, take my money. I mean, granted it was a TV series, but take my money as far as like cable provider kind of thing. And I enjoyed it. I watched it for three seasons. And I think as the end of the third season concluded, I had lost interest. And I know it continued on for several years afterwards, and then just recently, as I've been kind of plowing through all the information that's out there, that they are killing off Rick Grimes. Well, first they killed off Carl Grimes, which was dispute over his money, and that was kind of the end of things, I felt, because he was a big player, and that was Rick's main motivation. And now we find out that Rick has died. And I don't know if you've seen it yet or not, if you watch it or you've seen it online, but the way that they had him die was just like, after all the crap that he's gone through, he dies like that. And it was just like, man. To me, it was a letdown. But what we didn't know going into the series, or not the series, but the episode, was The Walking Dead. Rick's final episode was also Maggie's. And then in parentheses, at least for now. That's right. I guess Maggie's done for a while too, if not done completely. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But this does come with a warning. The warning says, the following article contains spoilers for The Walking Dead Season 9 episode What Comes After, which premiered Sunday on AMC. And it reads, the bombshells keep coming as AMC has confirmed Sunday's episode of The Walking Dead was the last for Lowen Collins, Maggie Ray, at least for the time being. Fans have known for months that Andrew Lincoln was stepping down from his role as Rick Grimes, that Cohen would only appear in a handful of episodes as Maggie, while both stars remain tight-lipped on whether their exits would be permanent. It's a surprise to learn that Rick focused What Comes After was also Maggie's last episode for now. I wonder why. I wonder if it says what the motivation is. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, showrunner Angela Kong confirmed that's the last of her for this season. We've been talking to Lauren, and hopefully we'll get to tell more of her story. We definitely have some things up our sleeves that we'd love to do. A lot of that is a scheduling conversation. So hopefully that will all work out, because I think mutually we would like to continue with Maggie's story for sure. AMC programming president David Madden added, I would hope it's not the last we see of her for the show, but she is not in any immediate forthcoming episodes. Hopes that Cohen will return is good news for fans of Maggie, but the use of forthcoming episodes makes it sound as if The Walking Dead has no plans to bring back Maggie in the near future. Cohen's starring role in ABC's Whiskey Cavalier and lengthy contract negotiation with AMC led to her bowing out of The Walking Dead for the first time since her arrival in Season 2. While Maggie and Rick fans are presumably over the moon that the two fan favorites have lived to fight another day, there is bound to be a feeling that Cohen received a short end of the stick this season. There was an emotional showdown between Maggie and Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Negan, but the scene was relatively minute compared to Rick's supersized swan song. The Walking Dead is set to confuse fans yet again in Season 9 with another time jump and a shifted focus on an older Judith Grimes. Even though the second jump seems to introduce a new character like Magna and Yukimo, it leaves a question mark over who would lead the Hilltop and whether Baby Herschel himself has headed to new pastures with Maggie. Airing Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific Time on AMC. The Walking Dead stars a whole bunch of people that are dropping out like flies. I'm not even going to read it because it's just like it starts off with Andrew Lincoln and Cohen, and they're like, boom, they're gone. It's just like, what? Okay, this is all about money, and I don't get AMC because they've made their money back. And the actors and the characters, it's not the zombies. And I obviously, I think that that's what it comes down to, is the thinking of the heads is that, oh, the fans are turning in because they just want to see the zombies. But it's not the zombies. It's the human characteristics of survival among the people of the group. And to get rid of the main character, I don't care how you slice it and how political you try to get it, Rick Grimes was the main character of the show. Rick Grimes is the main character of the comic book. And to get rid of him, and yeah, I know they say that they're going to bring him back in a movie, some silliness like that, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Because you're getting rid of the main character on a weekly basis. And now you're getting rid of the secondary, which is the lead female, in my concern. And it's all about money. Yeah, these people are wanting more money, but they've invested their time. And AMC needs to stop being so stinking greedy, because you're making your money. You're making profit now. What is it? After the first 2 seasons, it becomes profit? Okay, you're in season 9. You're making profit. And you should just move along and pay these people what they're worth and kept it interesting to the fans that have been loyal enough to stick along. Now, like I said, I'll be the first one to say, no, I dropped out after season 3, the beginning of season 4. I'll be the first one to say that, because I felt that it was just, I don't know, didn't grab my attention anymore. Something just didn't seem right. But I know there's people like my sister, even my mom. My mom loved The Walking Dead, especially the whole Negan thing. She was totally into it. But and obviously it's there. It's the fans are still there if you're going into season 9, and if you're shooting yourself in the foot. And normally I see political undertones that are motivated, but this is purely just greed and money. And AMC, I think, is slinging out enough money to other shows that they could have kept their number one show number one with their original actors. That again, that's just my opinion, and it kind of ruffles my feathers a little bit, and I apologize. So, all right, let's see. Where do I want to go? Let's go a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. As we read Star Wars Episode 9, reportedly a course correction for Lucasfilms. Oh, all right. Okay, it says, a new report indicates that Lucasfilm hopes Star Wars Episode 9 will put the franchise back on the right track after a disappointing box office haul for Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, I'm going to put a pin right there because it wasn't Solo's fault. Okay? It was Episode 8's fault. Episode 8 was terrible. I'm just saying it. It was terrible. There were so many wrong moves. And I don't care how the media tries to press it down your throat. Oh, it was great. It was great. It was wonderful. And I don't care how much they pressure the actors into changing what they said from originally saying it sucked to now it's wonderful. The movie was terrible. And the only reason why Solo was a bomb at the box office is because people were protesting how bad The Last Jedi was. Okay, so it's not Solo's fault. Okay, let's just go ahead and jump back to what the report says. It says, the report comes from Variety's article on how several major studios are pursuing J.J. Abrams for a record-breaking mega deal. According to the article, Lucasfilms is approaching Episode 9 as a course correction following the failure of Solo's to meet expectations. I just explained why it was failed. Okay? Solo only earned a little over $392 million worldwide upon the release in May. The film is currently the least successful in the history of Star Wars franchise and may have lost Disney over $50 million. Aiden Enrich, the actor who played Solo in the film, is signed on for 3 films with Disney, which means he could still return to the role in some capacity in other spin-off films set during the time period. However, Solo itself is unlikely to get a sequel. Abrams, who directed 2015's Force Awakens, is returning to direct The Chair following the departure of Colin Trevorrow in September 2017. Production of Episode 9 began in August, according to a tweet from Abrams. Directed and co-written by J.J. Abrams, Star Wars Episode 9 stars Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Lupita Nyong'o, Kelly Marie Tran, Billy Lord, Kerry Russell, Matt Smith, Anthony Daniels, Mark Hamill, Billy D. Williams, Carrie Fisher, Richard E. Grant. The film is scheduled to open on December 20th, 2019. Now, that's not really giving you a whole bunch of information. That's kind of more of a clickbait. But you know, it is unfair. It is legitimately unfair to blame Solo, because Solo was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I seen it twice in the movie theaters, and I've talked about it before. You know, I went to go see it at the Chinese theater. It's a TLC Chinese theater on a IMAX screen. It was amazing first time I saw it, and then I got to see it again with my son, regular screen, and it was good. It was amazing. It was a fun. I purchased the Blu-ray, so it's just something that people, I don't get it, guys. I really don't understand. Why is it that people cannot accept responsibility for their failures and want to place it off on somebody else? Episode 8 was crap. And I'm reading it where people are like defending it to the tooth. I'm like, why? Why are you defending this? Because you're being told to defend this? You're being told that this is good? It's not. Use some common sense. Watch all of the movies. Understand it. Okay? Lucas said this was a space opera, and it's about the conflict between the father and son. Okay? Now, yes, we go into the prequels, and the prequels can be debated whether people like them or not. I like them. Okay? But that was the backstory on Darth Vader. That's pretty much what all that was about. Okay? Then what we grew up in, and I say we, you know, people around my age group, were 4, 5, and 6, which was the conflict between father and son. Okay? That is Star Wars. Now, moving into the new trilogy, what is the conflict? Does anybody even know what the conflict is? That is an issue. That is the big issue. No one knows what... Okay, because, like I said, the first one is the backstory on Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. Second is, you know, Anakin, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, father and son conflict. Okay? Third. Now we're going into the third film for this final trilogy, and you're asking, what is it about? And you're like, I have no clue. Is it about Rey? Okay. Or is it about Kylo Ren? Okay. See, there's no direction. And I think that's the big thing, is there's just no direction. They're just... And if they would have stuck on course and followed the formula that they had for The Force Awakens, I think it would have been good. But it's just... It was one of those situations where they just let Rian Johnson do what he wanted, and he thought he knew. Just because you're a fan doesn't make it automatically a good idea. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's a super fan. I see, you know, I've seen it done many times before. But just because you're a fan, you enjoy it, and you think it should be done in a certain way doesn't mean it should be. And that is proof in The Last Jedi. I purchased because I'm a collection. You know, I'm a completist. I that's just what I do. I have all the Star Wars movies. I have The Last Jedi. And I put it in there once. Since I bought it, I put it in there once. I couldn't finish it, and it's been sitting in my catalog forever just because to me, it's unwatchable. And that says something. And to put the blame on Solo for the crap that is The Last Jedi is unfair. Because I'll tell you right now, if Solo would have came out before The Last Jedi, Solo would have had higher numbers. All right, I'm getting off my my soapbox here, kids. I'm ranting, and I apologize. Okay, let's go ahead and jump to Marvel, as this caught my attention, and I'm like, really? Okay, because we all know that Chris Evans says that he's done with being Captain America. Okay, whatever. And they're like, well, who's going to do the new Captain America? And then it says, John Cena in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? A cryptic photo fuels Captain America speculation. I tried to read it in my best news voice, from the 1940s. Newsflash, with Chris Evans returning coy on whether or not Steve Rogers, Captain America, will die or retire in Avengers 4 next May. Fans are already speculating who could don the shield. However, if WWE superstar and actor John Cena has his way, his time could be now to become Marvel's Star-Spangled Avenger on the big screen. That actually kind of hurts my voice. Okay, I'll read it normal for you. Cena posted a cryptic image to his Instagram with no text written, displaying an image of Captain America's battle-damaged shield that was last seen in Captain America Civil War. It's worth noting, though, that Cena has made a similar tease in the past about HBO's Watchmen series, so this could be pure fun. Maybe something meant to gamer fans supposed to support for a possible run on the role, or nothing at all. And then it shows a little, shows John Cena and then Captain America with the scratches on it, the shield. That's it. There's nothing really. There's no words or anything. And then it says, then again, given Cena's motto, hustle, loyalty, respect, and his consistent love for military service and America on the whole, when he's in the ring, Cena might as well be on the casting block, as he already a huge fan of all things geek, especially comics. As it stands, though, while Sam Wilson, Falcon, Anthony Mackie, and Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, Sebastian Shaw is an X-Men, actually he's Hellfire, are set for their own Disney series. Oh yeah, I remember reading that. Theorists have pegged either to wield the shield as Rogers' successor, just like the comics. So, if Cena does end up getting a role, it's certainly a move for Marvel Studios none of us would have seen coming. The untitled sequel to Avengers Infinity War will be released on May 3rd, 2019, which is again directed by Joe and Anthony Russo. Marvel's Avengers 4 stars Robert Downey Jr., Josh Brolin, Mark Ruffalo, Tom Hiddleston, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Jeremy Renner, Chris Pratt, Elizabeth Olsen, Sebastian Stan, Benedict Cumberbatch, Paul Bettany, Samuel L. Jackson, Kobe Schmalder, Benedict Wong, Zoe Saldana, Karen Gillian, Vin Diesel, Dave Bautista, I can't even pronounce that last name if I really want to try to, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Holland, and Anthony Mackie. And that's pretty much it for that one. So, I don't know. There was a picture, and it wasn't even anything related to this. It was just a fan post. And it had John Cena photoshopped as the U.S. agent from the 90s. And I thought that was clever. I did. I thought that was very clever. I would, okay. I'd be interested to see if he would, give it a shot. Why not? I mean, if we have to get rid of Captain America for the sake of telling a story, which, I've brought this up before, is that I believe that what they're doing is they're doing kind of an Onslaught Heroes Return story, but because at the time they didn't own the rights to Onslaught, they had to go that route of the Infinity, with Thanos. And so they took the Infinity Gauntlet and squashed it with the Onslaught story, and that's what we're getting right now. And I think it's a good idea. As long as they keep course and they don't try to diversify everything. And I'm just being honest here, kids, is they're trying to diversify. How do I say this? They diversify the characters and we're saying this as Marvel because Marvel has literally thousands of characters, and they wiped out the original characters and they changed it up. They made them different from who they are, and they're paying the price right now. In fact, I have the next article I'm going to read is talks about that. But right now they're trying to push that same motif in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, according to what I'm reading online, I've actually not seen anything physically with my own eyes. It's just for hearsay. And I hope they don't, because I believe that the same thing will happen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that's happening to what's happening right now to the actual Marvel comics. And I'm sure you're probably wondering, well, what's going on? Well, let me go ahead and pull this up, and we'll talk about this, because it's definitely worth happening. And I feel, and of course, I think that might go back to what we were saying about taking responsibility. And it might be pandered off to somebody else, but I really think that it's because of the diversity and the mix-up in the stories that they've done to try to bring in new people instead of going with the same formula that's worked for 70-plus years. So I'll stop with the leading, and I'll go ahead and read it to you. It says, high-profile comics arrive in September, but sales were sluggish. Now, just think about all this, okay? Think about everything. Now, I have to tell you, as I read this is pretty new information. So, just think about it all as a whole. And I'll try to break it down for you. Because there's... okay, here we go. I'm rambling. September 2018 had 6,697,966 units, or comic books, and the top 300 comic list, an increase of 100,895 units comic books from last month. This is slightly above the monthly average of 6,633,422 units for the top 300 comics. The month features the return of Wolverine, the launch of DC Black Label, the start of Spider-Geddon, that's what that is, Spider-Geddon. Somebody email me that. I've not even heard of that. So let me know. The comic book's launch of Stranger Things, and the kickoff of Heroes in Crisis event at DC. Given all of that, the increase of 100,895 feels a little unimpressive. Now, it's just showing, okay, it's, the big two's carrying most of it, and then Image, and then everybody else. But it's interesting to make note, though, okay, is that I'm looking at a color bracket, and IDW and Dark Horse have a marginal piece. It's about 2/3 what Image is producing. But then in the dark blue, it says other publishers, which I'm thinking is the independents, like us, Dark Myth Comics. So it's kind of nice to see that the independents are picking up some steam. And then it goes to Marvel Comics placed 3,273,395 units in the top 300 comics, an increase of 52,565 units. DC placed 2,212,146 units in the top 300, and increased 77,435 units. Image Comics has placed 506,555 units. Yeah, that's right. 506,555 units. A lot of fives in that one. In the top 300, which decreased 26,987 units. And I have a gut feeling that has to do with The Walking Dead because of the show. That's just interesting. None of the publishers changed significantly from the last month, with DC having the largest change of any publisher with just 77,435. Just. That's funny. Just. Most independent publishers, micro publishers like myself, would only dream of that. That's crazy. So let's see. As we move down more, we're looking at different things. Okay, and it says the upswing is that 1,990,549 units from new and increased sales was enough to compensate for the downswing of the loss of 1,889,654 units and lost in sales. Okay, that's interesting. And let's see, I'm just curious to see what we got here. Continuing titles and gain. Okay, more issues, stable sales. New titles. Okay, returning's low. Wow, returning titles is really low. It's one of those things that I can't really, because it's a bar graph, so I can't really explain it. So, okay, orders. Okay, that's just what it is, I guess. Annuals. And okay, so this is what we've got going. Continuing titles, grand sales. Venom is number one. That says a lot. Okay, Venom is the top. I mean, what? I don't know. Okay. I had to take a drink. Sorry, kids. So, as of September, Venom is the number one selling with 9,282. And then Champions was 3,420. Oblivion Song, which I haven't even heard of, is 3,293. Are you hearing these numbers? Red Hood and the Outlaws, 2,817. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, 2,563. X-Men Blue, 2,365. Now, think about this. I want you to think about this for reals. The X-Men sold 2,365 comic books. In 1991, I believe it was 1991, X-Men number 1, volume 2, sold over 1 million units for one issue. And now they're selling 2,365. That should really say something. That should really say something. That is, wow. Wow. Thor sold 2,005 comics. Harley Quinn sold 1,503. X-Men Gold sold 1,496. Jeez. Wow. Hack Slash. I've never even heard of that. Sold 1,070. Ice Cream Man. Never even heard of that. Sold 921. Runaways 776, Aquaman 696, The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl 571. Wow. Star Wars. Dr. Arfa only sold 453. X-Men Red is saying that it only sold 128. Batman Beyond 119. X-23? How is it? Wow. It's saying X-23 only sold 83 units. Scooby-Doo Team Up 78. And Last Siege, never even heard of it, it sold 62. Wow. That says a lot. That really says a lot. The continuing title gains category accounted for 605,288 in the top 300 comics, an increase of 33,676 units. Venom not only increased sales by 9,282 units, there was a strong reorder activity on some of the previous issues. And mind you that I just, wow. Well, yeah, because Venom's brand new. They just released Venom to correlate with the movie, so that makes sense. That does make sense. Okay, so as we go down to the next one, and I'm gonna try not to get stuck on this, because these numbers are just mind blowing to me. So I still got I got one more that I really want to talk about. So I'll try not to get stuck on these numbers. More issues is, let's see, Venom First Host is 79,180. Avengers is 64,955. Immortal Hulk, and they're talking about full profit here, right? Continuing titles, more issues. Okay. Immortal Hulk Immortal Hulk 43,412. Star Wars in a general is 42,669. You know, when I first started doing independent publishing, you weren't considered anything publisher wise if you couldn't sell 30,000 comics. You had to sell 30,000 comics. And now Star Wars is just barely selling more than that. And the total, we're talking total here. Titans 26,003, Nightwing 24,743, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man 24,000, only 24,590. And total, we're talking total. Spider-Man Deadpool crossover 19,954. Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider 11,873. Invader Zim 6,894. And Transformers Lost Light 5,443. Continuing titles, more issue category accounted for 702,787 units in the top 300 comics, an increase of 349,716. There were 5 shipping weeks in August and 4 in September. The 4th issue of Venom First Host released September sold 79,180 units. So this is all combined. Good Lord in heaven. That is really weak. More units combined than first issue sold. There's a sharp second issue drop, but the decline after that was relatively minor. Avengers, Immortal Hulk, Star Wars, Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, Spider-Man Deadpool, Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider released 2 issues in September compared to the single issue released for each of those titles in August. So, geez, that's even worse, guys, because they're saying, oh my goodness. So it's combined August, September. Okay, let's see. Then let's see. What are these? It just says continuing titles, stable cells, and it just says -17 Exo Man of War, -27 SpongeBob, -32 DuckTales, -54 Star Wars: The Last Jedi episode adaptation, Doctor Who, -58, -99 is Mage, -102 is Yugabo, The Hidden. -117 is Steven Universe. -133 is Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 12, The Reckoning. -135 is Shadow Man. -157 is Wildstorm, Michael Cray. -168 is Raven, Daughter of Darkness. -178 is Teen Titans Go. -192 Dead Hand. -197 Skyward. -208 is Britannica, Lost Eagle of Rome. -212 My Little Pony, Ponyville Mysteries. -217 Dark Ark. -225 Days of Hate. -244 Quantum and Woody, and -249 Star Wars Adventures. The continuing title Stable Cells category accounted for 141,547 units in the top 300, and decreased by 3,021 units. The cell stability of the Exo Man of War dropped only 17 units, which is noteworthy given how different the story arc can be from each issue. The narrative has shifted from being set on an alien planet to telling a flashback tale in ancient times to current arc more likely tied in current events in the Valiant comics. And it goes on more. It's just really, comics are you would really think that they would put more thought into these, because there's just so much more. Okay, let's see. It says new titles. The new titles are The Return of Wolverine, which did the best business out of it all, 260,411. Heroes in Crisis did 140,703. Batman Damned, 95,481. Stranger Things did 60,134. Justice League Odyssey, 57,113. As Guardians of the Galaxy, 40,945. Iceman, 38,906. Dreaming, 37,257. Infinity War Soldier Supreme, 34,999. Infinity War Iron Hammer, 34,661. House of Whispers, 28,345. Cover, don't even know what that is. 27,353. Bully War, 27,131. Cemetery Beach, never heard of it, 22,093. Maneater, okay, 18,619. United States versus Murder Inc., never heard of that, 18,534. Vampirella, and I don't know what that is, 17,000. Bordertown, 15,261. Mystery Science Theater, 3,000. How do you do that? How do you turn that into a comic book? 14,627. Rick and Morty presents Sleepy Gary, 12,029. Jinx World Sampler, 12,008. Archie, 1941, 11,944. Star Trek vs. Transformers, 11,585. James Bond's Origin, 10,825. Go-Go Power Rangers Back to School, 10,054. Wicked and Divine, 9,801. Burnouts, 9,346. Let's see. Dick Tracy, Dead or Alive, 8,766. Wrong Earth, 8,248. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, Silent Operation, 7,678. And let's see. True Believer, Marvel Knights, 20th Anniversary, Luke Cage, Fantastic Four, 6,009. Doctor Who, The 13th Doctor, 5,819. Yeah, I'm jumping now because this list is just really, really long. Grim Tale of Terror Halloween Edition, 4,245. Uncle Scrooge, My First Million, 4,077. Call of Duty Zombies 2, 4,055. And rolling it out is WWE NXT TakeOver Blueprint, 4,013. The new title category accounted for 1,190,964 in the top 300. And I wonder how many books. I don't even want to do that. Anyway, it increased 1,190,664 units. And that's okay. That's exactly the number of what they sold. Interesting. Okay. And it goes into a number 2 page. Wow. It says Wolverine launched in 2000. Wolverine: The Return launched with 260,411 units thanks to the typical heavy use of incentive covers by Marvel. The result will be sharp second issue drop next month, as we see this month on Fantastic Four. As long as the heavy use of incentive covers continue to work for Marvel, they will continue to use it. Not doing so would effectively losing money on the table, which would be irresponsible thing for them to do. So there you go, guys. It's just the numbers are falling and falling and falling, and there's just not really much. I'm really shocked. There's not much left to cover as far as comic books anymore. It just seems like, I don't know. It's wow. I might actually have to sit down and read the rest of this when I'm off air. I'm just kind of surprised. And I'm really shocked. I knew that the state of the comic books were getting really slim. So yeah, interesting. Okay, I've got one more article to cover. This one's for a friend, and I know I'm running a little bit over, but I want to read this one because of how much time I spent on the last one. This one is interesting because I've been following it, and I've enjoyed Spawn for a long time, and I know that Todd McFarlane is working really hard with Blumhouse to produce something unique and interesting. And I know that they're having a heck of a time trying to get it out on distributors. So when this was sent to me, I was like, oh, what a brilliant idea. And it reads, Spawn, Todd McFarlane open to selling movie to Netflix. Yeah, right? That's an excellent idea. It says, although production on Todd McFarlane's Spawn reboot doesn't begin for another 8 months, the writer, producer, and new director is already focusing on the future. While getting ready for Spawn production to ramp up, McFarlane sat down with comicbook.com to talk about the future of his comic creator-owned character. When it comes to Al Simmons and his supporting cast of characters, McFarlane says his creation might have a future home at Netflix, or any other streaming service for that matter. That's smart. Yes to all the above, McFarlane confirmed when asked if he'd even sorry guys. Yes to all the above. McFarlane confirmed when asked if he'd ever sell a Spawn property to a streaming service. I think the world's changing in front of our very eyes, and how we're going to consume not only entertainment, but even movies. There might be a day when you hit a button and Star Wars is on your computer and you won't have to go to the theater. I agree with that. At the end of the day, McFarlane simply wants fans of his character to consume the movie and shows he makes, regardless of the means in which they consume the entertainment. I want human beings to see it, McFarlane reflected. Whenever that device, or whatever that device is, whatever the delivery mechanism is, I'm not going to get married to a distribution model that may not be as relevant or as efficient because that's how you used to do it. I'll talk to all of them. During a previous interview, McFarlane revealed that Spawn won't necessarily look like Michael Jai White's interpretation of the character in the 1997 movie. Does Spawn have a dark mask and his body dark? And then does he have a cape in the comic book? Yes, yes, and yes. Will he have all that in the movie? Yes, 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 McFarlane told us. So it's not like I'm going to give him wings instead of a cape, and I'm not going to give him no mask instead of a mask. There's no going to be any of that. It just won't be exactly what a hardcore fan is used to. But I'm hoping that people who just go and are familiar with Spawn will say, yeah, that's in the box. And people who know nothing about Spawn will go, wow, that's cool. And I have designed for film goers, not comic book fans, because film goers are going to be bigger than the pool of comic book fans. I see where that is. I mean, it's not something necessarily lovely for comic book fans, but it works. It says, as we close here, Spawn will feature Jamie Foxx as the film's character, with Avenger star Jeremy Renner set to play fan favorite Detective Twitch. And that is it in a nutshell. We have got so much information into this one single episode. Thank you for coming in. I hope that you find this entertaining and you come back next week and we do it all over again. And I'll do my best to pull in more information. As always, if you have any idea or any thoughts that you would like me to cover, you can always reach me at mypubliclife@jayzomon, JAYZOMON.com, and let me know what you want me to cover. So for this week, for My Public Life as an American Nerd, I am David Kim Montoya, and for this week, I bid you adieu.